Topol.
Hello and welcome to The Secret Mind. My name's Jules and I'm welcoming you with some degree of sadness because we have lost a great. This man, known by only one name, how many get that accolade, and a formative experience in my life.
Topol.
If you don't know him from Fiddler on the Roof, then you're most likely to know him from For Your Eyes Only, the James Bond movie. And I include this image of him and Roger because I've got that album, that annual, somewhere. That's, as they called it, a special. It was a time of when the annuals was a standard Christmas present, and that was his most famous movie role, other than Flash Gordon, I suppose you might say. Topol. So let me tell you a few things about
Topol.
About Topol. And that is that I used to go and see amateur theatre. My mum would take me. We lived very near to a still active amateur theatre in York, near the chocolate factory, the Joseph Rowntree's factory, now Nestle. And it still has the Joe Rowe Theatre, Joseph Rowntree Theatre. And that was walkable too from my home. And we go and see all the musicals. The standard stuff, the Hello Dollies, the Pajama Game, Oklahoma, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, that sort of thing. And it was, what else? And it was obviously an amateur dramatic society, but it's a theatre for hire. Anybody can go and perform there. And but generally didn't see so much in the way of professional productions. So the first, what I feel, this is my memory of it, I feel as though the first professional production I went to see was to go to Leeds, to the Grand Theatre in Leeds, and see Fiddler on the Roof. I may have seen a professional production at York Theatre Row before, but this was so formative it felt primal and primary. This was the production. It was Fiddler on the Roof with Topol at the Leeds Grand Theatre. I can't work out the year. I will have been an early teen. When they made these little flyers, they just put the date on, the 7th of June to the 19th of June. So somebody might work out when the tour was. A performance of a lifetime. Who could disagree? The genius of Topol, King of London's and Leeds's musical stage. A delirious audience brought him forward for curtain call after curtain call. Hyperbole? No. He was just miraculous. And a few musicals have rivaled Fiddler on the Roof for worldwide impact. Well, you can say that again. First seen in 1967. Topol returns to his greatest starring role to retell the story of the lives and dreams of a small Jewish community in Tsarist Russia. Could it have any more relevance even today? I remember coming out, I can feel the pavement under my feet when I came out from the Grand Theatre on that day. And it changed the way I think about entertainment and the world. And I have the one thought that came through my mind. I didn't necessarily understand the sort of implied sort of politics of it. You don't need to, of course, but and it didn't occur to me until much later, because it's just a rollicking great musical and a hugely emotional journey. But my memory was that I could just watch that all over again. That was my thought. I don't think I've had it since, from a theatre production or a movie, to come out and to want to go straight back in and to watch it all over again. So, and I was lucky enough to see the king of that role do it in Topol. And I've just put my room here in upheaval because I'm not the only one to have got rid of all my LPs, my long playing records. But you can't really let the last one go, can you? You can't let the last one go. And this, if you see it on Spotify and you see this picture of Topol as a clay puppet with a string beard, is a great recording. I recommend the recording over the movie. It's just, the production's so great. So this explains my fuzz. The reason I've appeared unkempt to you for the last few weeks is that I am going to appear in a small capacity in Fiddler on the Roof. I have never been in an amateur dramatical society musical in my adult life. I haven't been in a play other than one I wrote myself a couple of years ago, since I was at school, which is, looking by the beard, is some considerable time ago. But a friend who is playing the lead role, Topol, played Tevye, the milkman or the dairyman in Fiddler on the Roof, and had all the songs, the If I Were a Rich Man song, and all the other great songs, all of which are brilliant, all of which are outstanding. It makes you think they must have rejected all sorts of other songs to end up with such a brilliant distillation of fantastic songs. And first of all, I thought, no, I don't think I'll be doing that. And then I went back home at Christmas and said to Mum, I said, John's just suggested I should go and join the men in Fiddler on the Roof. He said, well, are you doing it? I said, no. He said, well, why not? I said, I don't know. So I joined up, and it's on in next month in April. But it's a sad time to have Topol leave us. Any time is a sad time. So let me tell you the rest of what I want to tell you. It's a story I've told a few times. That tour was advertised as he's back in his greatest starring role. We thought this would be it. In fact, he did a few more tours of it. That doesn't mean to say if he's doing more tours, they're coming anywhere near you. But he did, 15 years later. Well, was it 15? Why do I say 15? It was in 1994. And having had that primary, it was a hypnotic experience where something gets fixed into you. I'm also a hypnotist, hypnotherapist, and largely it's removing fixed ideas. But that was a hypnotic experience because that was installing that fixed idea. Anyway, what I could do when it came to Sunderland Empire in 1994 was I could return the favour to my mum and take her, with me buying the tickets instead of her. And that's what I did. I got the best seats I could find, and we were near the front, and we watched Topol do it as an older man, a man who didn't need to grey his beard anymore, a guy who didn't need to stuff a pillow under his prayer shawl or whatever it was, or waistcoat, to do the role, and still did it with just electrically charged performance. It's just something that to behold. And I thought I could maybe enhance it a little more. So what I did was I wrote to him. And I wrote to him at the theatre, the Sunderland Empire Theatre. And I think I included a stamped addressed envelope. And I'd bought a book. I bought his book. He did a book, which I have here, called To Life. It was a collection of daft jokes and anecdotes, Jewish humour, and he'd done it for charity. I can see the charity on there, the National Playing Fields Association, of all things. That must have been for, well, playing fields. So I wrote to him, not really expecting a reply, but I got a reply. I told it was for my mum's birthday. She still got the book. I checked a few weeks ago. And he sent me this rather nice thing back. And at the top, it's written very lightly, I think possibly in pencil, because I think this is although I think it's a photo stat, it's his own drawing. He's a brilliant drawer. He illustrated the book fabulously. And you realise that so many of these talented people are multi-talented, aren't they? And so unfair on the rest of us. So, and he wrote there to Celia, that's my mum's name, Shalom, Chaim Topol. So I thought that's a mark of the man, isn't it? And what a wonderful thing. So, and she's framed it, and I had to tell her to ask her to get it down off the wall and photograph that so I could show it to you, because I wanted to show you the full story. So that was that. I held out a hope. As years gone on, I thought, could I pull this off one more time? I did follow when he was performing again. I knew it was in America. He did a tour. I was keeping an eye on that and thought, well, I could get to America. But it's never easy with other commitments. And it was a bit crazy. Didn't manage to do it, and I think that was when he damaged his shoulder during the tour, and I'm not sure he performed it after that as well. I was keeping an eye on him in recent years, checking how he's doing, keeping an eye. What can I say? Just curious if he would ever maybe just do it one more time. And although thankfully there's a film version, so everybody can enjoy it. And unfortunately, I think he was starting to fail and struggling a bit in recent times. But so all this sort of brings it home to where we are now. This is we have a production coming up next April, and the play couldn't be more timely. It couldn't be more relevant now with the Ukrainian situation, the Russians driving people from Ukraine, and so here are our male principals. My friend John, who is playing Tevye, and the rest of the cast with the big roles, and all sorts of our supporting cast here, and the female principals cast there, and the rank and file. Here I am down here with 16 women and me down there. So here we are, banging away at the rehearsals, trying to get there. It's a complicated play. And this is and it's an active and lively thing. So I went to see Fiddler on the Roof a couple of years ago in London. Andy Nyman, Derren Brown's consort, was collaborator, was performing Fiddler on the Roof. Did a great job. There's only one Topol, but did a great job. I bumped into him a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him to do a dedication for John, who's playing Tevye in our production next month at the Tyne Theatre in Newcastle, England. And this is what he did for us.
Hey Jonathan, I hear you're doing the West End Operatic Society production of Fiddler on the Roof. Not only that, you're playing Tevye. Obviously, I know what that is like. Here's what I would say to you. Here is my good luck advice. Don't worry about being funny. Don't worry about doing Jewish acting. Just tell the story, tell the truth about what it's like as a man and his wife and his family, and think what that would be like for you. And then that brilliant play and those brilliant songs will do all the work for you. Have an amazing time doing that.
Thank you very much.
So that was Andy Nyman, and many thanks to him. He nailed that first time. Very generous, very kind of him, and did a terrific job of playing Tevye himself. Tevyes are nice people. Hunt them out. Be good to them. They're making the world a better place. So that is my tale and memory of Topol and what he's given us, this fantastic musical and this brilliant play. And we're going to have a go at it. This is going to be justified, just about. But in the meantime, it's a musical. So we raise, I don't have any schnapps in, it's a bit of sake from the back of the cupboard. We raise a glass and drink a drop of schnapps in honour of the great good luck that favours us. So be happy, be healthy, long life, and chime Topol. Thank you very much.